Welcome to Free Game. This is a new segment that I like to call Bama Week. Now, Bama Week is where me and my brother Darnell over here, we talk about the upcoming game for Alabama every single week. And what a great time to start, simply because this is probably the biggest game of the year by far. Alabama versus Georgia. You want to introduce yourself?
My name's Darnell Roberts, original co-host of OG Free Game.
Yeah.
It's a blessing to be back on here and get back in the little podcast streets.
You already know. We are in the streets. And
Mm-hmm.
speaking of in the streets, Georgia is coming down to our streets. We are actually underdogs for the first time at home in 2017, I believe.
Till last week.
I know. I
Until
know.
that week.
Yeah, but I think it's 2.5. We are underdogs. Honestly, I like it. I like being underdogs, especially against a Georgia team. But kind of give your take on this year's Alabama team, since we haven't really talked about it. Very different. Obviously, no Nick Saban. Kalen DeBoer has been, super calm. He doesn't really rip people's asses like Saban does, but kind of give your take on what you've seen from Kalen DeBoer so far.
To me, I kind of feel like it's a little different, but it's still the same well-known Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that a lot of our players feel like they're getting a little more freedom than expected. You could definitely tell in some games, some guys are like, "Oh man, I'm about to get ripped out for this," and Kalen DeBoer's just been calm and collective, make sure that they understand their job and just to go fix it. And they're definitely flowing, and definitely a lot of the people who came back are showing that leadership to get these young guys let their we're gonna call it their stock build up and build a name for themselves to show that Alabama didn't go nowhere just because the greatest coach of college football left. He just passed on the torch. That's it.
Mm-hmm. And I think the interesting thing is one of the main receivers, the young 17-year-old Ryan Williams. Oh my God, he is so fucking good, dude. He is so good. For him to actually not flip and stay helps us out a lot. You actually called it though, like right before preseason happened. So, what's your take on Hollywood Williams and how great he's been so far?
Just imagine explaining to people like you're at work or something. Just imagine just telling your friends that a 17-year-old is balling on your favorite team on ESPN, who should be
Can't.
playing high school football.
Yeah,
Instead, he is playing in T-Town on Saturday night.
that's crazy.
I
That's
called it.
crazy. You did call it. There's a bunch of comparisons. Obviously, there is the Julio Jones comparison. I kind of like the Devontae Smith comparison. I think he reminds me a lot of Devontae, slimmer in build, but if he is going deep, he is going to catch it, and he is just electrifying. Love it. Love the kid to death. But what's your take on Jaden Milroe this year? How do you think he's improved? How do you think he's been uh, coached under Saban, now being coached under Kalen DeBoer?
Honestly, even outside of a football perspective, I've truly fallen for the Jalen Miller hype. He's more of just a football player outside of ESPN, outside of the lights and stuff like that. He's a big Christian, big believer in God, and truly believing in letting everyone know, letting doubters know that he ain't going nowhere, and that and then it shows on the football field when he goes out there and performs how big of a leader he is and all of the help he's had. Just think about all the knowledge that he's gained in these past few years from not only Nick Saban but from Jalen Hurts, Bryce Young, and all these top cats in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of knowledge to just suck in, and you can see that he's already got it all locked in, and he's flown into the game as is, as he's ready to play on Sunday.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be a Sunday quarterback. I obviously had a love-hate relationship for Jalen. Like, I did not like him at first. You knew it, and I don't. We don't have to go through it now. But I will say I have been very pleased with his improvement. It just seems like it just comes to him a lot easier. You know, the mistakes that he made last year, a lot of mistakes early last year, but you can tell that he's just picking up where he left off, and it's really good to see, especially going up against somebody like Georgia. But before we talk about Georgia, a lot of people are talking about the USF game. Listen, I don't know why we always have a close game with them, but you look at the scoreboard, it's just like that wasn't even close at all. But I mean, 28 points in the fourth quarter. What do you do? Do you think that is going to affect us in any way when it comes to the 12-team playoff? You know, because now the teams that you should beat, you have to blow them out, and they're going to count quality wins. I personally think is not going to matter, especially when Georgia barely beat Kentucky. But what's your take on that?
I honestly think, especially for us in Georgia alone, it's those first few weeks of true tests in a team's chemistry, especially it's week 3, week 4, and everyone's going to come out and wanting to beat Alabama. They want to beat Georgia. These are the number one teams who most likely 85% of the time they either make the playoff or make the national championship or go all the way to win it.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to make a name for a team like Kentucky or USF, for instance, they don't want to get blown out like we expect. They want to make it a run for their money. So I truly think that it was just a true test for the both of us. And even though we picked it up in the end and Georgia barely survived, I think it's still going to be the big rivalry down to the wire type of fourth quarter type of game that it's always expected to be.
And I totally agree with that. This game honestly is tough for me because I'm not a Georgia, like I don't like Georgia, but I love Kirby Smart. Like I love Kirby Smart to death. Like Kirby, Sark, love those two to death, and they're on two completely different SEC teams. What would your advice be to Kalen DeBoer coaching Kirby Smart for the first time? Like if you were in a room with him, what would you tell him?
Honestly, what any coach would probably say is just super prepare and prepare the boys for the moment. Do your homework. That's the biggest thing. Even though a lot of teams are going to be looking at the Kentucky game and what they did wrong in those types of instances, I would personally be looking at the games from a year ago, 2 years ago. What they do wrong, what they do right, what's their biggest tendencies. Georgia's known for the blitz on defense, so you know they're going to bring the heat. So, what are some things that we're going to do to initialize Jalen Milroe and the offense where he can get the ball off in time without him taking the unnecessary sacks like he's known for?
Mm-hmm.
So, I
Exactly.
just think he's just got to be smart, and I think it's a huge game. This is the game where are we going to go down the hole? Are we going to be known for losing to Georgia, or did Nick Saban make the right decision type of thing? Which
Yeah.
I truly think he did, no matter the outcome. But we're going to find out this Saturday.
Exactly. Let's talk about the game. Give me the key factors on Alabama winning this game. In my opinion, I think it's going to have to come down to the run game. I think they got like a hurricane coming down there. Like it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
messy in Tuscaloosa, but I think the run game is going to be important. I think Jam Miller's got to be a big, big factor in this game. And as far as the defense goes, I mean, I think we're second in the nation in run defense. So good luck running the ball on us. But Keon Sabb, he's got to be a factor, especially playing against a top-notch quarterback like the Georgia quarterback. I forgot his freaking name.
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck. Yeah, you're going to have to lock his receivers down. But give me some of the key factors on Alabama for them to win this game.
I preach it every year. One, our O line. Our O
Yes.
line's got to be dominant in this game, like we do every year with Georgia, in order to win.
Yep.
Especially if you watch last week's Kentucky game, they ran the ball all over them. And if they're going to let Jalen Milroe run the ball, it's going to be a tough night for him, which they obviously know that. But our O-line is going to be the key to everything, especially if Jam Miller is going to be going down the field and trying to drive. And the second biggest thing, especially, is the penalty calls.
Yes.
We're shooting ourselves in the foot way too much, and we
Yep.
just need to calm down. And I think the biggest thing for them is just to ease into the game.
Hmm.
That's the third biggest thing. Is it's obviously going to be one of the biggest games of the year. A lot of people are going to be hyping it up. College game day is going to be there. Everyone's going to be watching, tuning in. Who's going to be the baddest college football team for the rest of the season? This is basically it right here. So I
Yeah.
think we're obviously going to have the little first game jitters, especially for the new guys. But once we ease into the game, I think we dominate.
So let's go through your prediction then. You don't have to pick a score if you don't want, but what is your prediction? The final result on Saturday night.
35-21 Alabama. I think we truly get them
Wow.
in the fourth quarter.
That much, huh?
I think it goes down to the wire, and then fourth quarter, they go out and get them.
Mm.
I think we seal the deal on them.
I think it's going to be God, that score's crazy. I think it's going to be 27-24. I really think it's going to be a very low scoring game simply because of the weather. And these are two really good defenses. But I do agree with you. I think, you know, if our offense does what we've been doing, which is have those spurts of just being explosive, yeah, I think it could get carried away. But I'm going to go 27-24. I think it's going to be a close game. I think our special teams are going to be important. We got a nasty punter, bro.
Nasty.
we got a nasty punter. He has a cannon for a leg, and he's going to be a big factor in that too. But yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be close. But I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. That'd be nice. But would this put us in the number one spot if we beat Georgia?
Honestly, to me, I don't think Texas has played well enough good teams to where if we put on a good statement like that in that Georgia game this Saturday and we come out on a dub like that, that's a statement game. That's basically saying Alabama's still on top of college football right now. And Texas ain't played nobody too big yet, especially on a team like Georgia. I
Right.
truly think they go to number two and we bump up.
I definitely agree because that'd be what I think we're still ranked number 4 in the nation.
Hmm.
So that'd be a number 2 versus a number 4. Oh my God! Here's a stat for you though that I like. Coach DeBoer is 5-1 as an underdog. His one loss was in the national championship against Michigan. So I really like that we are underdogs. But here's another crazy stat for you. Every college game day this year, every place they've went to, the home team has always lost. So let's just kick that curse to the curb because we don't need any of that bad juju. Because listen, we're trying to get a win here. But
Why you even put that out in the universe?
I'm just hey, listen, I'm a stat guy. Okay, I'm a stat guy because especially with these Nebraska fans, you got to put some stats out there. So I've been locked in. I've been hella locked in. But what do you think about let's get off of Bama real quick, staying in the SEC. What do you think about Arch Manning?
I I think for right now he's definitely settling in as a quarterback, but I truly think this is Quinn Ewer's year to truly try and go get what he's been fighting for a little while. But if Alabama get there, he not getting there. Alabama get there, he ain't getting there. You know what I mean? But
That's true. That's true.
I think he's doing great, especially for. how how young he is, and from his freshman year to this year, for how much growth he is, he can honestly probably go to any other team and dominate, but
with ease. Yeah,
with ease. But instead, he chooses to learn more and look at how, because Quinn Newton, I don't like Texas at all, but Quinn, you got to give credit where credit is due, and Quinn Ewers is a very poised, smart quarterback. So
yeah,
to stay for another year, it's and to just learn from him. So the next year he's dominant type of thing. Prepare him at least for the SEC and the rest of the way. Crazy.
yeah. And I think that's a great problem to have when your starter goes out. You really don't have a problem putting in your bench quarterback to have success. So, um, I think Arch is nasty, bro. I think I told you and Dad that I want Arch and Bama, but he unfortunately went to Texas. I don't want to see him. Thank God we don't have to play him. We might get to play him in the playoff, but we shall see. Is there any sleeper teams that you think would sneak into the playoff that would give some of these teams a run for their money?
Honestly, they if they stay consistent for the whole season, because obviously I'm always gonna say they're gonna lose to us, but I truly think Ole Miss is gonna be the sleeper team this year.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
agree.
they look really dominant,
Yeah.
and Jackson Dart's been in the dang game for 10 years. Feel
A
like, but
long ass time.
I truly think that's the team right there that they're gonna really make some noise.
Another SEC team. Imagine that, Big Ten. But I honestly think the sleeper team this year is going to be Miami. Miami's been looking really solid, and I think it's just good for college football to have like dominant programs be dominant again, like the Texas, the Alabamas, the Miamis. I'm not gonna say Nebraska because they just lost, but yeah, it's rough in
Yeah,
here in Lincoln, bro. Lincoln's on fire,
I can
but
only imagine.
yeah. Um, who is your who is your Heisman winner? Your early Heisman winner for the rest of this season, so far, not upcoming, but so far during the season.
It's J Money Milrow all day. J Money Milrow all day. 76.8 for a QBR. Crazy. No interceptions. And if the last game didn't show you, watch all the other games so far. It's just he's proven that he's setting up to be what we all know he was going to be the Heisman this year.
Mm-hmm.
He has to prove everyone wrong. And this Saturday will definitely be a big step. Huge step.
BTA belt to ass this Saturday is what's going to happen.
Belt to ass.
Is what's going to happen. I do agree that the Heisman Trophy it's a quarterback award, kind of like the NFL with the MVP. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter's a demon, dog. I would have to listen. I love Jaden. I think he's stepped up so much, and he's definitely in the running. But if I had to give it to somebody now, give me the dude that plays 140 snaps and makes a tackle for the win, which is insane at the goal line. I'd have to give it to Travis Hunter. That'd be my pick.
Fair enough.
Uncle David will love that one.
I bet he would.
But is there anything else that you would like to talk about Bama wise? Is there anything I'm missing? Oh, let's talk about this. Bama quarterback Tua, obviously a nasty concussion. You love Tua. You love you some Tua. I love Tua too. What would your advice be for him? Do you think he should continue to play football, or do you think?
Absolutely not. He needs to go home and go to bed. It's time to wrap it up, man. You proven what you need to proven, dog. We don't need to see you getting hurt no more, man. You've been getting beat up since 2019. It's time to wrap it up, man. You've had a fair past few seasons in the NFL. It's time to find a new profession.
Damn, that's crazy because he just signed a contract extension like this year.
He gonna have to wrap it up.
You think so?
He risking his life. He playing some more. Honestly, I'd
I
rather
know.
see him be happy on ESPN and being alive rather than trying to risk his life. And he gets popped in the head again by one of these young cats. It's raps.
I don't know
It's
who's
over.
I don't know who's clearing him. That's my question. Like, I mean, I get it. Last year he didn't get hurt at all, but like now they're saying, oh, he's on the IR for 4 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks now, but I I think he has to talk to like a super duper specialist, like the top of the line in Miami, and just give him an honest answer. Like, listen, I know you love football. I know the Dolphins are, on a run this year. Supposedly, they suck without him though. Like they are terrible without Tua. But I think somebody special needs to have an honest conversation. Like he needs to sit down with him and his family, and you need to. I'm kind of on board with you. I think he should hang it up. I mean, we see what CTE does. I mean, look at Antonio Brown. He hasn't been the same since. Um, and I think Miami just needs to go get Bryce Young. I
Yup.
mean, he ain't playing. I
And they're
mean,
doing him so dirty, and it
I
just.
know, and I hate it
I hate it so much with the burning passion. It's not okay.
because
Because
Bryce Young is a very good quarterback. Like
we went down.
he's a Heisman Trophy winner. Like he's super smart. Look, I think he is. Now we can have an argument if you want to. I think Bryce Young has been the best Alabama quarterback out of every quarterback that's been through Alabama. I think he's better than Jalen. I think he's better than Tua. I think he's better than Mac. I think he's better than McElroy. I think he's better than McCarron. I, I not just because he won the Heisman, but the dude is super smart and super clutch. Yes, he's small, but he can throw his ass off. He just needs a team. Carolina stinks.
They straight up stink,
They
man.
stink,
It's
dog.
bad to watch, honestly.
It's
We can just
embarrassing.
sit there and give Carson Palmer his praise, like
I know.
I don't
And
know.
listen, Andy Dalton, like the Red Rocket, great backup QB. I get it. But if you're the Carolina Panthers, how long is that going to last?
And he
Honestly,
old.
what are you going to do with Bryce now? You drafted him number 1 overall. You gave up your best receiver, which was dumb. Your O line is sorry, just like Colorado. Like,
Straight up.
what do you expect? Is my thing. I don't know. I'm a super duper Bryce Young. I'll defend Bryce Young till the day I die. Like I've seen what he's done. You put him in Miami. You put him in. Who else needs a quarterback? You put him in Dallas. You put him in L.A. You put him anywhere, he's going to succeed. Except for the Giants, they suck too. But you
Yup.
put him anywhere else with a solid team and a O line that is average, he's gonna be okay. But I don't know. I don't know. Don't want to talk about NFL right now. But what's your message to Georgia fans out there?
No offense, but little pups are gonna have to sit on the porch this weekend. There ain't gonna be no big dogs barking this weekend. Just wait. Once it hits about 10 o'clock, they gonna be real quiet down there in Atlanta.
Oh, facts.
They
Oh,
ain't gonna be
facts.
listening to Lil Baby. They're gonna be listening to Drake getting all depressed. Cups of the rose.
Okay.
Let
That
me
is
chill.
enough. That is enough. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. I think it's a night game, obviously, so I'll be in home just in time to watch it. College game day is going to be there. It's going to be electric. I'm going to be up all night cheering quietly because I have a 2-year-old. Okay? So, and a pregnant wife. So, they're all just knocked out early, like 7:30, 8 o'clock. They're knocked out. So, I got to be super duper quiet. But I will be watching just like you. Always roll motherfucking tide. Oh, let me ask you a question. This is a fun one. Would you be more disappointed if Georgia beats Alabama or seeing Dad at the Iron Bowl?
We're seeing who?
Dad.
Seeing data. Would it be more worse?
Yeah.
Us losing to Georgia.
You wouldn't be mad that you're not going to the Iron Bowl and Dad is?
Look, that's who says that I may not be going.
Bro, if you go to the Iron Bowl and I don't, that's crazy. We're going to do
I
a
know you're
live
gonna
pod on
cry
the
in the
field.
car.
We'll do a live pod on the field.
Wally wants to get into.
Well, if Wally can say roll tide, then she can.
Can you say roll tide? Roll.
Wally's such a great dog. Shout out Wally. But that is going to be it for this this episode of Bama Week. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And next week, same time, same place. All the Bama fans be locked in, and we're going to be here. Yeah, roll tide,
Always
baby.
locked in. Let them know.
That's right. And that's free game, and we're out.